Good morning. Ooh, okay. My name is Mandy Winders, and I am a member of this congregation, and I'll be your worship associate this morning. On behalf of Reverend Dave Dunn, our intern minister Liz Martin, Director of Religious Exploration Lexi T. Brown, our music director Alex Peach, and the greeters and the technical team that are making today's live stream possible, I would like to welcome you to the Unitarian Universalist Metro Atlanta North congregation, which we lovingly call UUMAN. UUMAN is a liberal faith community with the mission to nurture our spirit, strive for justice, and transform the world. No matter who you are, who you love, or where you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcome here. Welcome to all that are joining us remotely. For any visitors who are here with us for the first time and are comfortable doing so, would you please stand and tell us your name and where you're from so we can get to know you better? Are there any visitors this morning on my left? How about on my right? All right, so we all know each other this morning. That's great. We have a few announcements. We have several adult enrichment offerings during second hour. They are listed in your order of worship, along with the youth RE schedule and some upcoming UUMAN events. Mystery Friends letter exchange begins today. Lexi has emailed all participants the alias of you and your mystery buddy. Deposit your letters sneakily in the inbox wall in Fellowship Hall next to the chair storage. And now Marguerite Vandesty, the board special projects trustee, has a brief announcement.
I'm Marguerite Vandesteek, and together with Carla Rizzati, we formed the stewardship committee this year. So we are pre-announcing today, the stewardship for 2025-2026. And this stewardship is the pledge drive for the new church year, starting July 1st. So we will formally kick off the pledge drive next week, together, Carla and I. So keep your eye out on some emails and put on your calendar, March 30th, we will have a lunch to celebrate the end of the pledge drive. So it will be 4 weeks. And this is his team, Fuel Human.
We were so excited about the hand of friendship that we put it in the order of worship twice, but we're going to just do it once right now. So let's greet one another with a hand or elbow of friendship.
So sad. Good morning. It is so good to see you all here this morning. You look marvelous. It's good to see you here this morning, seriously. Why? Because you found us. You've made your way to a Unitarian Universalist congregation. And it's not everyone, it's not just anyone that makes their way to a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Something called you. Something got you out of bed this morning and drew you into this sacred space. And this something called you into this community centered in love. This community that values justice, equity, transformation, pluralism, interdependence, generosity. Jet pig, right? This community that also values wonder and awe, connection and courage. We're so glad you're here because it couldn't be the same without you. And now let us light our chalice together.
We light our chalice today, knowing that our hope and our passion are needed to change the world. We bring different gifts to the work, but we come together in one faith, that what we do makes a difference, both to our world and in ourselves. And now is the time in our service where children of young and old are invited into the front for our time of all ages. After the story, they're invited to exit into the fellowship hall for kids community for a fun, for all ages activity for the remainder of the service.
It's Grandpa Rollins' story time. And guess what? I have yet another story about Akbar and Birbal. This is a story about the great King Akbar of India, a real person, one of the greatest leaders who ever lived in all of history, and his vizier or his advisor, Birbal. And they like to talk about lots of things. Birbal was very wise, and they would have lots of conversations about lots of many different things. And one day Akbar said to Birbal, "Birbal, here in India, we have so many religions. We are like a crossroads of all these different places, China, Europe, Persia, Arabia, Judea, just so much. And so which religion is the best? I don't know." And Birbal said, "Well, I have a question for you. Best at what? Or perhaps it would be better to say good at what? Because best, we don't know, best, worst, but good at what?" And so King Akbar said, good at prayer. We turn our thoughts to the Most High. We give thanks to that which created us. Good at prayer. And Birbal said, Akbar Jan, that would be your religion, Islam. Muslims are very good at prayer. Okay, all right, yes. But prayer is not enough. Meditation. Which religion is good at meditation? The Buddhists very good at meditation. They teach us how to be very calm and not worry and not be afraid. Yes, this is important. What else? What religion is good at telling ancient, wonderful stories full of wisdom? And Birbal said, that would be my religion, Hinduism. We have the Ramayana, the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita. And okay, all right, Birbal, calm down. I know you love your own religion. All right? But still not enough. Which religion is good at educating children, teaching them to work hard and learn lots of interesting things and make good grades? Jewish people, they are very, very good at educating children. Yes, very important to do well in school. Still not enough. What religion is good at building hospitals? That would be the Christians. When their missionaries come from Europe, they bring their doctors, their medicines, and they build clinics everywhere they go. Very, very good at building hospitals. Okay. Birbal, I don't know which one is best, which one we should choose. And so Birbal says, King Akbar, I have a suggestion. Instead of asking this or that, perhaps you could ask this and that. And King Akbar goes, Birbal, you are a genius, my friend. Okay, I will invent my own religion, and it will have the best things of every religion in the world. Now, King Akbar did not know about the great religions in Africa and the Americas, because the Africans have what the history teachers called a sharing culture. They're very strong on that. In the Americas, the religions there are very good at taking care of nature, so he didn't include these things. And this is where the story is real. This really happened. King Akbar of India invented a religion. He brought together teachers and scholars of every religion he knew about, had them teach each other, had them discuss things, and he called it Dini Allahi, which is his language, the Persian language, for the religion of God. We might say the religion of the sacred, the religion of the holy, and he tried to put together the best of every religion into one religion. You know, and in some ways here at UUMAN, we try to do that. We have our sources, which Miss Lexi and your other teachers are going to be teaching you all about. We try to learn from every religion and take what is best, and we use our sources. And you know, there is something that I think UUs are very, very good, where we can learn from others, but others can also learn from us. And I think what UUs, I would even brag a little bit, and I would say best at, we are good at teaching that you are okay and special and wonderful just as you are. We don't have to make you into something you're not. That's where we hope that other religions will learn from us, just as we should be willing to learn from them. And that is the story of King Akbar invents a religion.
Now, if you're able, please rise and stand to sing our opening hymn, 68, Rising Green. this month's 50/50 recipient, chosen by the senior youth, is Project Hope, a global organization that provides disaster relief and medical support on the front lines of the world's greatest health challenges. Our 50/50 speaker this morning is Olivia Patanian, one of our senior youth.
Project Hope is a global health organization providing disaster relief and medical support to those who have been affected by the wildfires in LA. They have distributed hygiene supplies, air purifiers, and re-entry kits, while also supporting local health services and mobile medical units. They are working with schools, frontline workers, and health professionals to help with the mental health crisis caused by these fires. Project Hope wants to support every group during this disaster, including racial minorities, LGBTQ+, homeless people, and underprivileged communities. We hope you will consider donating to Project Hope. Thank you.
In an effort to fulfill and further the vision and mission of this congregation, we ask that our members and friends share of their time, treasure, and talents. With this, we will now take the offering. You may also use the Give Now option on the Breeze app. Today is a 50/50 Sunday, where 50% of our offering, including any checks specifically designated as 50/50, will be shared with Project Hope. And for the entire month, any checks or Breeze donations specifically designated as 50/50 will also be shared with them.
We would like to sing you a little song for our offertory today, and the name of it is The Power of Kindness, and it is by Carisha Longacre and Sarah Nutting of Ma Muse.
I believe in the power of kindness.
Kindness, ooh, I believe in the power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. We don't know what's coming, but we can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, oh, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round, there's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love.
Power of love.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. Look up now, people, keep your ear to the ground. We are the river flowing, and generosity abounds. So give a little, all, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round, there's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love.
Power of love.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. The honeybee serves sweetness only to help the world bloom, bringing love to the flower, from the flower to the fruit. We can learn a thing or two. So give a little, all, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round, there's more than enough. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love.
Power of love.
Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love. what's coming, but we can help shape what's ahead. With kindness as our currency, the Commonwealth is in our hands. So give a little, all, give a lot, don't stop. A helping hand makes the world go round, there's more than enough. Ooh, power of kindness.
And the power of love.
It's free, it's free.
Gratitude and generosity.
Power of kindness.
Ooh, I believe in the
Power of love. Ooh, I believe in the power of kindness. Ooh, I believe in the power of love.
Thank you very much. That was beautiful. I have not heard that song before. We accept this sacred offering generously given by our beloved members and friends. May we use it wisely and may Project Hope use it wisely and judiciously in service to our missions.
At this point in our service, we share the joys with each other to magnify them and our sorrows to divide the weight of their pain. If you are so moved, please come forward, drop a pebble in the bowl, and express a joy or sorrow that you may have. For anyone attending via our live stream, you're welcome to share a joy or sorrow in the chat.
Sorrow is that this country has elected a monster, and the tag team assault that we saw in the Oval Office this week was an assault on humanity.
Hi, my name is Kelly Callan. I'm a member of this congregation. And Gus and I did not plan that, but I'm right behind him. This is a pebble of sorrow for Ukraine. And just as a reminder for all of us, as Roland said in the children's story, prayer is often not enough. And so I know this community has rose to many occasions, and I look forward to supporting Ukraine with all of you. We do have an artisan here in Roswell that crafted pins in the last 48 hours to share with us. I'll be in the vestibule if you would like one. I have a limited amount, but we'll have more soon, hopefully made by us. So join me in the vestibule afterward. Thank you.
My name is Bob Pop. I'm a member of UUMAN. I'm going to drop a pebble today for Dirk Bender. He was taken ill last week, about a week ago, with an intestinal issue, which they resolved, but in the process, he developed issues with his lungs, and they're now trying to rectify that. So please keep him in your thoughts. He's in the ICU in Northside, Forsyth. So please keep him in your thoughts today. And Ann, who's there beside him 24/7 almost.
I have a pebble of joy for my sisters who are able to move out soon, and a slight pebble of sorrow for the same reason. I'll miss them.
I'm Dwana, a member of this church. I have a pebble of gratitude for Bill Pensky of Pensky Spices. He is walking his talk, baby. You cannot separate who you are from what you do and the world we create. I'm going to leave boxes of these. These are called, it's a new spice called Resist. And if you don't cook, take one and leave it as a tip or a gift. Corrosion's come to town. Never has your heart mattered more. Love America, love the hope America brings to all the people. Kitchen's gonna get hot. Smoky too, you can stand it. Keep America alive.
Hi, I'm Christina Peterson. I'm a member here. I have two pebbles of joy. One, my oldest baby turned 15 last week. So it's a joy and a sorrow because he's not allowed to get older. I still remember when I was changing his diapers, so I'm upset about that. My other pebble of joy and great relief is as of the 25th, I have officially graduated with my master's degree, and I am done.
I love that I followed you because my stone of joy is for my oldest baby. My oldest baby is 29 years old today, and there was a definite time around 15, I'm sorry to say, where I didn't think that this kid would make it to adulthood. So, not jokingly, not jokingly. I'm just glad that my kid is out there in the world. Lives too far away from me, but they'll be coming to visit later this month. And then a joy of, I guess, sorrow. My husband works for the federal government, and this is not a great time for federal employees. So, drop that one too.
I'm John Wheeler. This pebble is for my cousin who died last week. He was 10 years younger than I am, so he's about 60. And he and I grew up in the Rockies playing around, just having a good time together. And I will miss him a lot. He died in San Diego, addicted to opioids, and it was not a good sight, but we're through that. Thanks.
So my pebble of joy is that my eldest daughter, who when I came to UUMAN, I was pregnant with her, and on Friday she turned 21. So that's maybe two pebbles, joy.
Yes, hi, I'm Janet. I have a pebble of joy for last night, for all my friends at UUMAN. Last night we had just a wonderful, wonderful dance party at Laura Keck's house. And it was just wonderful, and I'm so happy and so thankful for my UUMAN friends here.
I'll drop one final pebble for those joys and sorrows that are still too tender to share this morning. Maybe keep one another in our thoughts in the coming week.
Thank you, I think. Early on in the 1998 movie Sliding Doors, the main character played by Gwyneth Paltrow misses a train. Then, the movie splits into two alternative parallel universes, exploring what her life would have looked like had she caught the train. I've often thought about how my life might be different if I hadn't walked through the doors of a Unitarian Universalist congregation in 1993. Although I had a few detours after college and in my professional life, I ended up working for the same company for 25 years. 15 years as an engineer, and then 10 years in the sales group for that same engineering company. Yet it goes without saying that Unitarian Universalism has radically changed my life and the life of my wife and my 4 children. We joined the UU Church of the South Hills, Pittsburgh in 1993, and my oldest was just a year old at the time. And we joined just in time to be involved in their biggest ever capital campaign. Yes. Funny how that happens. Yes, and ironically, just before leaving, I left just prior or just after their biggest ever capital campaign when they built a whole new sanctuary and put a new wing onto the building. I was a part of that as well. I was a faithful contributor to that project, and I've never attended a worship service there. God truly works in mysterious ways. I didn't know that God truly works in mysterious financial ways as well. But I think about how my children would have been different had they not grown up UU. We dragged them to religious exploration every Sunday for years and years and years. And I give my home congregation and Unitarian Universalism a lot of credit for the people they have become, instilling them with the values, morals, and ethics that they hold. I've been very pleased at how they've turned out as people. And I see the same development here with the children and youth here at UUMAN. I see the same thing. And when looking around the South, this area, it's relatively conservative, maybe religiously fundamentalist. You really can't get, very few places can you get a liberal, progressive, religious exploration, instilling our children with our liberal, progressive, proudly liberal and progressive values and ethics here. It's hard to find here. My children can give pretty strong arguments on the values and benefits of diversity, equity, and inclusion in our society. And again, I credit Unitarian Universalism and their religious exploration teachers for that ability to articulate those arguments. And when diversity, equity, and inclusion is under attack right now, we need more voices that are educated to articulate those arguments. And again, I see our religious exploration programs here giving our children the ability to articulate that. If you teach religious exploration, you may not think you make a difference, but I will tell you that every child that comes through your door is benefiting from your presence in that room. I can guarantee that. In 1999, our family decided to give UU Summer Institute a try. UU Summer Institute is a week-long summer camp where about 500 to 1,000 UUs take over a college campus. It's a week-long campus of fun. Has anyone ever here attended SUSI or UU summer camp? I know there's some people, yes. And I go every year as well, and so do some other folks. And some people are on staff here. Anyway, for my children, UU summer camp was the week around which their world revolved. They never, with 4 kids, we couldn't afford like 2 vacations a year. We never went to the ocean. We never went to Disney World. We never went to the Grand Canyon. My kids would not let us go. They had to go to UU summer camp. They couldn't envision a summer without going to that camp. On social media, my daughter posted a few years ago, she said, quote, "My best friends and truest friends are those UUs I've met through Summer Institute, and they've taught me the meaning of friendship." That really touched me. That Unitarian Universalist communities can be life-saving, nurturing. They can help us articulate our values in the world if you're here and you participate in UU institutions. And I know that some of our youth who go to SUSI, which is the UU summer camp, have made friendships with people all around the country. I know Elizabeth's daughter has, yeah, and probably and others as well, and my kids as well know UUs all throughout the East Coast. Looking back on it, there was a Sunday morning in the mid-'90s that was pivotal for me. On this particular morning, the director of religious exploration came up to me, put her hand on my shoulder, and said, "One of our RE teachers had a medical emergency and can't teach the rest of the term. Could you fill in for the remainder of the term?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Yes." She said, "Great. Down the hall, there's a 4-5, grades 4-5 class. Could you go in there and help, teach in there?" As I'm walking down the hall, she says, "Oh, by the way, they're really active. They're really active. But you'll be fine. You'll be fine." Now, this congregation was about the size of UUMAN, okay? About the size of UUMAN. And I walk in the door, and there are 20 kids in this class, and it is wild. And it is wild. They were active, but I learned so much in that class that I loved the children and that I loved teaching. And that first class was my number one unforgettable moment as a Unitarian Universalist. So, I may have told this story before, but I'm in this class, and I'm talking about Noah and the flood, okay? I'm teaching this story. There's like 20 kids, and they're all working on some art project while I'm telling the story, except one kid. One kid is like fascinated by the story, looking at me. He's looking at me, and I notice that he's looking at me, and I'm telling the story, the animals 2 by 2, the 40 days and 40 nights, the flood, all this stuff. The kid's like really transfixed by this story. And his kind of jaw drops. He's like totally amazed. And I had to stop and say, "Nick, is there something you need to say?" And all the kids stop and look. And Nick says, "Your ears are so big." I fell to the floor crying. It's so funny. Nick is a blessing. And I'm sure he'd be surprised I'm talking about him right now. He's probably 40-something, and I think he's a lawyer. But anyway, at my home congregation, I taught junior and senior high OWL program 3 times. That's our whole lives. It's a sexuality education program. Now, you may not realize it because OWL is now so ingrained in Unitarian Universalism, but the OWL program is changing so many lives. I believe it's the best thing that Unitarian Universalism has ever given the world. That's what I believe. All 4 of my children went through OWL. It made them courageous to say no when they needed to, that they have control over their bodies. It's a transforming program. An owl saves lives. I was at GA one year attending an owl workshop, and at the end of the workshop, a middle-aged African-American woman gets up and she's kind of tearing up, saying how owl changed her life. She grew up in a different religious tradition where sexuality, the way she was taught, were these predefined roles that she could only play, that she didn't have any options. And it was owl that connected her to her own sense of sexuality, that she had choices, that she had power. Also at my home congregation, I spent 6 years as a youth group coordinator. So I taught OWL several times. I taught E every year, youth group coordinator. It was these experiences, mostly all religious exploration, that were perhaps the most influential in me eventually becoming a UU minister. Hopefully this congregation, or being a member of this congregation, hopefully being a Unitarian Universalist, has also inspired you to think and perhaps rethink your own personal theology, personal philosophy of life and living. I love the freshness and openness of Unitarian Universalism. I've said this before. I think of Unitarian Universalism as this blank canvas upon which I can paint my own theology and personal philosophy in a way that makes sense to me. And as I learn and grow in Unitarian Universalism, I can repaint with new colors over the things that might not any longer be working for me. Maybe some baggage that I was holding on to. I can paint over that with new paint and new colors. And I can continue to do that. That freedom in Unitarian Universalism is just unparalleled for me. If we're paying attention, in a way, our exposure to Unitarian Universalism can make things appear less clear than they seem to be formally. Waters that we once thought were clear are now a bit muddied. This is a good thing, because the waters haven't changed. You have. You begin to see things in new ways. You begin to see things not in black and white, and now you're seeing them in gray, because you're seeing other perspectives of the same things. It's a movement of something I call religious liberal fundamentalism. There can be two kinds of fundamentalism. Hopefully, your membership here has inspired you to paint and repaint your personal theology and philosophy in new ways that align with how you see the world, and new ways that work for you. Perhaps 20 years ago, I listened to my minister deliver a sermon about finding one's call to ministry. And I admit in the service that when he articulated that, I began to look around the congregation to see who he might be talking to. Is this some special Sunday where there are other ministers present? Because I was led to believe that ministry was the responsibility of religious professionals. That wasn't my domain. They can't be talking to me. As a layperson, I didn't realize that I might have a ministry of my own. It wasn't until I heard that sermon 20 years ago that it kind of reshaped me. Again, I was kind of new as a Unitarian Universalist. And I believe that deep down we all have a ministry to fulfill. Ministry is meaning-making. Our fourth principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning. But I believe meaning is not out there waiting to be found. Meaning is in here waiting to be made with how we live our life and the ministries that we carry out. That's meaning making. So inside the walls of the congregation, outside the walls of the congregation, teaching religious exploration, providing pastoral care, working on the board or program council, volunteering with Family Promise or North Fulton Community Charities, supporting immigrants in the LGBT community, that's ministry, that's meaning making. There are many meaning making ministries around here for you to all be involved in. Now, none of us have any spare time. I've checked with you all, and I know that none of you have it. Well, that's the baseline, right? We're all busy. But sooner or later, I believe that for one to be truly happy, for one to be truly fulfilled, one must make the time and listen to that inner voice of ministry that resides in each and every one of us. That inner voice that calls us to be of service in some ridiculous way. You're going to need to allow Unitarian Universalism to change you, to bend you, to shape you into the person you were born to be. Take that chance and allow that to happen.
And now, please rise and body your spirit and join us in singing our closing hymn, number 1074, Turn the World Around.
Turn the
let us extinguish our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Of 19th century Unitarian minister Theodore Parker, who said, "May ours be a religion which like sunshine goes everywhere. Its temple, all space. Its shrine, the good heart. Its creed, all truth. Its rituals, works of love. And its profession of faith, divine living. May it be so. Go in peace and enjoy your week."
Alex, I got you your own code name. Works in the front and back door.
Oh, great.
The fellowship hall. That is, music for you and the music people.
Oh, super. Okay, good. So back door, there's one at the double door, is that what you're saying, or is it the one by the kitchen?
Kitchen.
Okay, terrific. Okay, good, thank you. So I have permission to give this to the choir?
Yeah.
As well? Okay.
Yeah, that way we keep track of who's coming and going.
Yep.
And we got the electronic lock on the front now. We didn't have it before. Now we have it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. All right, I'm out.